It's Wednesday, 20th of March, 2023. You are live on Orange 107.9 FM. You're live on the Women Lately Show, conversations worth having. What can I say? Today is an amazing day. Personally, for me, one of my kids has his birthday today. He actually requested, Mommy, can you say happy birthday to me on air? So this is for you, little man. Happy birthday to you. Good afternoon if you're joining us anywhere in the world. We're live on Facebook, Orange 107.9. And if you're in Kumasi, of course, you can join the discussion that we're going to have this afternoon. Wednesdays are special days for me for so many reasons. But first of all, because it's the Women Lately Show. We made 2 years on air on Saturday, 16th of March. That was the day the internet decided not to make me great, so we couldn't celebrate it. But thanks for joining us on the show these past 2 years and for contributing your quota to all the discussions we've had all this while. My name, as always, Francisca Taylor, and today I'm going to be joined in the studio by a lovely lady I've just met, and a few more on their way, because the topic is too much for one person to handle. We are on season 5, episode 6, and we are talking Chronicles of Single Motherhood. Chronicles of Single Motherhood. I think the word chronicles is scaring some people, but you will be fine. You will be fine. If you want to join the discussion and share your story as a single mother, you can do that on WhatsApp. The number to do that on is 0548 501 584. 0548 501 584 is where you can send your message on WhatsApp and we'll engage with you. Share your stories, share your successes, share your difficulties as a single mother. Maybe we'll open the phone lines at some point. I can't promise. If we do, I will announce the phone lines then. But you can also join us on Facebook Live and post your comment in real time so that we can engage with you. Today also happens to be World Oral Health Day. And so to the amazing dentists that we've had in the house, Dr. Ama Moesi, good afternoon to you. Thanks for all you do. And to you, Dr. Ewua Mensah, as well, good afternoon to you. And thank you for all you do. Maybe one of these days we'll have Dr. Ewua Mensah in the studio as well. Now, I said we're going to be talking about Chronicles of Single Motherhood. And yesterday I had a near heated argument with someone about, single motherhood, because I think that there are some things we don't like talking about, and single motherhood happens to be one of them. I think we all realize that it's there, but we don't want to talk about it, But what we're going to do this afternoon is to talk to these lovely ladies about their lived experience. So I always say that if something is somebody's lived experience, you can't say it didn't happen. If it's never happened to anyone in the world and it's happened to that one person, that is still somebody's lived experience. So let's try not to diminish other people's experiences or belittle other people's experiences, because whatever it is, that is what they have been through, all right? Now, if you go on Wikipedia, a single parent is a person who has had a child or children but does not have a spouse or live-in partner to assist in the bringing up or support of the child, right? So when I read the definition and you're in there, right? A single parent is a person who has a child or children, but does not have a spouse or a live-in partner to assist in the upbringing or support of the child. Now, this parent, and in our case, the mother, may be either widowed, divorced, or unmarried. We live in a society that is very nuanced, right? So if somebody has a child and they are not married, there's a way they look at you, there's a way they relate to you, there's a way they speak about you as compared to your counterpart who may be married or whatever. And we're going to go there today, We have conversations that are worth having, so we have to go there. A 2022 study in Ghana, I came across while preparing for the show, came up with some quite interesting facts, right? This study was done between 1993 and 2014. So they collated studies that had been done over that period, 1993 to 2014. And the study came out with the results in 2022, which is, not that far off at all. And in that period from 93 to 2014, the percentage of single mothers in Ghana had moved from 14.1% to 19.5%. And I'm sure, it's even more now, because from 2014 to now is about 10 years, right? Now, a lot of these women, of course, had children before they married. This is what they call premarital birth. And single motherhood is less likely to happen among women with higher economic status. Of course, that does not refer to every single mother, but the majority of them are women who have, let's say, a lower economic status, right? Now, socioeconomic conditions of single mothers are worse than that of single fathers. So if a single mother is bringing up children, she's probably likely to struggle economically as compared to a single father bringing up his children. In Africa, single motherhood was associated with several adverse effects on children's health outcomes. And when I say health outcomes, I'm talking about rates of malnutrition and under 5 mortality. And of course, economic hardships we already talked about. So when you see a single mother, these are potentially some of the things they will be going through. Now we're going to move from the results of this study and actually talk to people who are living their life, right? And in the studio with me, I have 2 ladies, one who happens to be my friend on Facebook that I never met. I met her today. And another lady I just met before the show. Now, what you ladies need to know, I don't introduce my guests. I let you introduce yourself. You say as little as or as much as you want us to know, okay? So I'm going to start with you, lovely lady in the beret. Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Okay, so I'm Nana Hemaya Eyiwa. Since you said as little as I want to say, but in the media space, I'm known by a lot of the media personalities since I pundit during my free time on a lot of FM stations.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm quite the popular every big bad man's niece on the street. So that I just want to say that little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
On the event side, when I'm coordinating, supervising, and on the marketing ground, you did hear, yeah, God. So I have a registered company. 1 year you are limited, 1 year you are agency, and 1 year God Vince.
Okay.
Yes, so I mostly just use the God when I'm doing stuff.
Okay.
So yes, I did just want to say that little.
Okay. Pleasure meeting you. Good afternoon to you, lady.
Good afternoon.
Tell us your name and a little bit about you.
Sure, my name is Philippa Prempe. I'm founder and CEO of She Community Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
I run Afro Community Trade Exhibitions.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a trade program.
Okay.
Which goes on around Ghana.
Okay.
We bring together entrepreneurs with their products, their services to showcase, sell, and get to meet the right customers and investors.
Okay.
Aside that, I do trainings as well, corporate trainings. I do entrepreneurial development and a lot more things. But because of what we are going to discuss, I'm a single mother of a girl who is 20 years in the university now.
Wow.
Myself, I am 37.
Okay.
So I had my daughter when I was 18.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say you look 20 yourself, but since you explained that is fine. Thank you for joining us. And I think you have an event at the mall now.
Yes.
We'll talk about that before we end the show.
Okay.
All right?
That's
so,
okay.
Can I call you Ayiwa?
Oh yes.
I love the name Ayiwa.
That's actually what a lot of people know me by.
Okay.
I studied in KNUST.
Right.
I studied engineering.
Okay.
I held quite a number of political positions. I still run
okay.
mentorships for a lot of the girls in STEM who are termed as peculiar characters like myself. That's how Dean sees me. So
Fantastic.
I don't
Fantastic.
know who prescribed a particular attitude for women in STEM. Yeah.
That's a whole topic for another day.
Yes.
But Ayiwa, let me start with you. I want you to tell us your story. How did you become a single mother?
I think for the purpose of the show even being Chronicles, me, if I'm saying I'm telling my story, in as much as I'm that young, I'm not finishing today because it has names, it has working people, certain people in it, but maybe I didn't like to break it with family side, how I became a single mother relationship. So that assuming you don't finish and you call me again. I know what to continue from because I just didn't want to be.
I like
Because
you.
before I got here, the kind of traction I am having on my phone and chatting, people have just been waiting for me to talk for the past 2 years. I've just been quiet. And
Yeah.
there was a time Orange FM, the females here were the ones babysitting my baby.
Oh, wow.
Oh yes.
Okay.
My baby is quite popular here
Okay.
in the mall. So yes, so for my case, I wouldn't answer it as how did I become a single mother. I am a PCOS patient.
Okay.
And I'm not shy of talking about it.
Right.
So every time I mention it, I shout out to Mary Stopes, Mr. Champon, their general director. So in my case, as at that time, somebody who has been brushed off that conceived.
Probably can have, yeah.
So if I've conceived, it's not like how did I wanted to have a baby.
Okay.
So if it came along the line, and since I had been given all these boundaries and time limits and all, if it came along the line,
You'll take
I
it
had
gladly,
to have
right?
It was even some kind of joy.
Okay.
Is that with the kind of society we find ourselves in, that we assimilate wrongly, people would always see things as they would want to see. So for my story, in the first place, it was a necessity.
Okay.
As at that time, because I think I had my baby is now 2 years old.
That's what mothers do, eh? 2 years is still a baby.
Yes. So yes, for my case, I wanted to have the baby.
Okay.
There's a baby, and I wouldn't say the person was wrong, but the timing and the things that I was doing and the people I was working with that time that it came into the picture is what makes it look problematic.
Okay. So you're a single mother, can we say by choice?
Yes, mine is 60% by choice.
Okay.
Because, as I said, I don't tolerate a lot of BS. So, because with my case, it's medical, and my
Okay.
doctors will defend me on any way. Because I even actually struggled to keep the pregnancy.
Wow.
This is a pregnancy where, at the end of every month, we were just spending like 1,700 at wholesale medical prices for injections.
Wow.
And
Just to
supplementaries.
sustain the pregnancy.
I'm not even yet there on having to go and stay in the hospital for like 2 months to get assistance with
Wow.
giving birth and all.
Wow.
So mine is somehow by choice.
Okay.
That is one. And the person in question I ended up conceiving with, that one, we had split. Then
Okay.
I found out I was pregnant, and I didn't want to be selfish, and I think it's one of the biggest mistakes I did, listening to the aunties, the Kumasi aunties around. Onye crowd dey funny sa ko ka kire no. Ja mutina obi anti mu asem. Yes, but this is the case where I knew this wouldn't work out.
Yeah.
This wouldn't help me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be selfish because God being so good, I have family and family relations around who did help.
Okay.
And I could take care of the baby alone to a certain very higher standard. So
Okay.
I think if I'm being truthful, I don't fall in the socioeconomic.
Right. Right. Of course, it's not everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but just that I followed advices and I had to inform the person in question. And the person's second comment was lesser than the first comment that made us split. And I think with our society, this problem even starts from the hospital. I was going to a private hospital I don't want to mention, where is big men and their wives who normally come, especially the IVS people and those things. So, and my belly never came. My baby was in breech position almost throughout my 10 months, 2 months pregnancy. She decided not to turn. She was not giving us a specific date she was going to come out. Like everything with that baby was complicated. So the last even person who could give a scan for us to get it was actually a radiologist. I had to forget about the sonographers and move to. And this radiologist, luckily for me, had been my doctor for years.
Okay.
Because I've been a patient of most of the famous gynecologists in the country. That's why I'm saying I'm lucky to have the kind of family I have that I could get to them, get treatment. So even back in school at age 19, I had been on these hormonal therapies and treatments. I got tired. Because today you are fat. Because PCOS is a whole topic for another day. Today you are fat, tomorrow you are slim, today your hair is falling off, today you are fainting, tomorrow you have insomnia. So I just got tired that then when I'm done with school and probably as a female engineer, where most of these companies pay part insurance when you want to undergo these things. Then let me get in the working field. Then I plan to have a baby.
Okay.
Then this thing came along the line, just I think 2 years after I left school, when I was trying to go and further. Yes. So as I'm saying, with my case, my baby gave me, like, the pregnancy was really tough. I didn't even know I was going to survive. And the person in question, the family too, really gave us a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Because they just didn't understand why my dad and my uncles wanted to do things a certain way. If you don't want to be part, yes, we know you are wealthy, you're also wealthy, you can afford, but if you don't want to be part, and this whole bet out of wedlock, blah, 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 if you don't want to be part, just stay away. We know why we want to spend millions on, but they just couldn't accept that fact. And as I said, I had like 5 different dramas going around me that I was bleeding throughout my pregnancy.
But you're here today.
Having preeclampsia, not being able to work, and all this drama, everybody saying what they want, including my own nuclear family. Yes, so
wow.
Me, as I said.
Chronicles indeed.
Oh, yes.
Chronicles indeed, there you are.
It's really painful. You get to the hospital, and as I was saying, these big men come with their wives, and these big midwives, they see you as like, and at times I come like, it's a specialist we come to see. He comes every 2 weeks. So once I'm here, it's definitely that I have a problem that I can pay.
Yeah.
Oh, me na me DQ now can you probably train do me say oh me mo be me serious.
We'll talk about the challenges that come with it. You know, that's why we are here.
It's really funny.
Yeah. So let's talk to Philippa. Philippa, what's your story?
Sure. So we are going to talk about how I became a single mother.
Was it by choice, first of all?
No, it wasn't. I mean, at age 18,
of course,
not a lot of people get pregnant by choice.
Yeah.
Mine was a circumstance.
Okay.
Yes. So when I was little, I grew up in a normal home. We were not poor, we were not rich. My parents were okay, and I was privileged to be put into some of the very good schools.
Okay.
So I had a very good background. But at a point, my mom died. My mom died when I was about 13 years old.
Wow.
So when my mom died, my father married again. And that was where all the issues started from. In my stepmom's house, my stepmom had her children, about 4 or 5 of them.
Okay.
And I was the only child for my mom and my dad. And on my dad's side, my stepmom and her children knew that, okay, this is the man's favorite child because I was the last baby.
Okay.
Yeah, so when my father was absent, he traveled for some time, for some years, like 2 or 3 years. I was left with my stepmom and her children. There was this young, nice man that my father had brought to come live with him. That was my father's friend's son.
Okay.
So my father was training him. He became more like a sibling.
Okay.
But we were not siblings.
Right.
So when my father was absent, I was going through all these hardships and maltreatments in the hands of my stepmom and her children, to the point where I didn't love being at home.
Okay.
I was sort of isolated. So every time I felt alone. This period, I was living at South Suntreso.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Kumasi girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will move to friends, go spend time with them and all of that. And when the maltreatments got higher or deeper, I found solace in the arms of this gentleman who was my father's son, of course. Because
adopted, sort of, yeah.
Sort of an adopted son. My brother, sort of. So he will be the one to console me, blah, blah, blah. And then at a point, things started happening. I was very little. I didn't know much. So it happened once. It happened twice. And I think the third time, I noticed changes in my body.
Okay.
This time, I was just about 17 years old. So when I noticed these changes, I mean, as a young girl, I was also very open-minded. So I did a test myself, and I realized I was pregnant. So I left home. I left my stepmom's place. I went to live with my friends. They tried to give me all sort of things to take to bring out the baby. I mean, we were young. They were, in their minds, they were trying to help a friend.
Yeah.
Because my mom was not there. My mother's family, they didn't even know where I was, because at my mom's funeral, my father took me by force and brought me to my stepmom's place because they wanted to take me. A whole lot of issues. I cannot go into all of
of course.
that. Yes, but it so happened that I had to live with my friends for some time. And during that period, my mom's relatives were also looking for me because someone had told them that my stepmom and her children had been maltreating me. And so I've been roaming in the estate, so they should come for me.
Right.
Now one day we were just sitting in front of my friend's house, and there came my mom's sister, my cousins. There were about 20 of them.
Coming to catch you.
They came to catch me, and then they took me. Fast forward, I had my child. My child's father at that point denied, because my stepmom and everyone, they told him to deny.
Okay.
Yeah, because they told him to say that he's not a person, and for the mere reason that they didn't know what my father was going to do
To him.
to him,
Right.
if he should get to know that he was actually the person.
So the thought of protecting him instead of you.
Yes, instead of me, yeah. So they did that, and I went through with my baby when I had her 2 years. I mean, when I had my baby, after 5 months, I started carrying her and selling things on my head.
You're joking.
I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know. I was just a little pampered girl. But after I had the baby, I went through a lot of things, even in the hands of my mother's family, those who came for me. Yes, they actually made me carry my little fresh baby at my back and carry my goods on my head to sell. Yes, all around Kumasi. I remember somewhere at Omanji, I'll carry things and go to that area to sell. And there was one man who sold spare parts. Every time I got there, he'd call me, sit me down, buy me food, take my baby, and ask me to rest for some time. I'll rest, and then I'll take my baby and continue. So at a point, I left Kumasi. I left my baby with my child. I went to Accra.
You left your baby with?
I left my baby with my sister.
Okay.
And I went to Accra. There too, it was a street kind of lifestyle, drinking, smoking, everything included. Party life 24/7. My baby was here. Fast forward, at a point I just decided, I think that everybody with what you have been destined to do, God allows you to go through processes to build you up for what you're supposed to do.
I completely agree.
Even through those moments when I thought I was going through some real bad times, I was actually being built up for this.
For what you do now.
For what I do now. So at a point, something just clicked. I wanted to go back to school. I was just about 21, 22, 23 then. So I started planning, I started learning, reading. I love reading, so I started reading. I started documenting stuff. Whatever came to mind, I'll document. I went for my baby when she was just about 4 or 5 years. Now the father accepted, because anybody who saw the child automatically saw the boy in the child. So the boy's parents...
The man.
The man's parents.
At this point, right?
When we had the baby, he was still a boy.
Yeah.
So
okay.
The man's parents made him take my child. And so I took time. I went to school. I started by going to a film school. Then one day, God being so good, I just had the opportunity to be a radio presenter at Breeze FM. All of these, going through these processes, I had plans because I had a child.
Yeah.
I was supposed to cater for my child. At some early stages, I didn't know how I was going to do that because I felt I didn't even know how to take care of my own self.
Yeah.
My parents died early. After my mom died, my father also died.
Oh, wow.
So I became an orphan. just around 21 years, I was already an orphan. I didn't know how to take care of myself, talk less taking care of a child. But as I said, God has numerous ways of building people for different things. So I went to school, I got a job in radio, I started doing events and all of these things. And then at a point I went for my child when she was in class 5 or class 6. And ever since then, I have been a single mother, taking care of this child from school, what she eats. And if you should see my child, you will love her because she's pretty and she's intelligent and she's everything that people will say, oh, wow, Philippa, you've done well taking care of this child. But it hasn't been an easy road.
I can tell.
There are a lot of challenges that I'm sure we'll talk about.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
The fact that a woman has to play the role of a man and a woman at the same time in a child's life, especially with somebody like me who didn't even know how to take care of my own self. My father was not there to take care of me, to give me that thing. When I was a little girl, my father was a busy man. He would go away, even when we were together with my mom and everything. He would go away for a very long time. He always compensated his absence with things, money, provisions. They took me to the boarding house when I was in class 2.
Wow.
To JSS. I was never with my parents like that. And so when they died, and I also got pregnant, and all of these opportunities were on my shoulders, it became some sort of trouble for me. But I was determined. From the beginning, it was not easy. Sometimes I could just sit in my room and cry because I felt like a failure. You know, looking at my child, knowing that, okay, she might have done something which is wrong, and I didn't know how to correct her, whether to hit her or to shout on her or to sit down and talk to her. I didn't have that experience.
Right.
So I did not know how to do it. But through learning, patience, my daughter is today 20 years. She's in the university. She's doing well. And I'm doing well for myself as a business person.
Fantastic. I'm going to let you breathe. There's a comment on Facebook for you from Nana Araba Jachi Bukari. Good afternoon to you. She says, see and hear how eloquent you are, lady in black. You are beautiful and awesome. More grace. And I'm sure that goes for you too as well, you are. I appreciate your honesty, both of you, because people don't like telling, for lack of a better word, struggle stories, right? And especially because of social media. I mean, you have to come out with your best. Nobody wants to talk about the struggle bit. So I appreciate you being open to talk about it. I want us to talk about the shame that comes with being a single mother, the shame. Michael Quinn on Facebook says, you all look stunning. I'm in there too somehow. Thank you. Thank you for joining the Women Lately Show, Michael. If I think of single motherhood, the first emotion that comes to mind is shame. And I think Ayiwa started talking about it and I told her to hold on, right? So talk to me about the time when you were pregnant and you said you went to the hospital.
So I think with my kids, with whose child I am, that's how come I'm being hush-hush about how I'm telling my story. Because for being whose child I am, my story is better than his, because a lot of people wouldn't want it. It will bring national security.
I respect that.
Yes, so the issue here is the shame starts from home.
Okay.
So actually, at the beginning of my pregnancy, I was not home. It was doctors who made me sign a form that if I don't allow them to inform my family and I die, they don't want any legal issues. So
because it was high risk.
Came into the pregnancy, I had already passed 6 months of my pregnancy. And at the first 3 months of the pregnancy, I had been hospitalized whilst people were celebrating Christmas, I think in 2021. I had fainted at bananas and everybody was like, we're trying now. So yes, I went to the hospital. You see cases like this, they know somebody's supposed to bring you.
Yeah.
I'm coming and it's a driver and I'm carrying my stuff and I'm like, admit me, just shut up and admit me. So the China came and he's a well-known China in the country. He's probably like, Nana, You better show papa, you're in passing, yeah.
Of course.
So for that, so with me, the shape started at home. That's what I'm saying. For the first part of the pregnancy, I was not home.
Okay.
I didn't want to tell anybody. I was trying to raise monies and leave the country and go and give birth and come back. Because with my kind of family, that knowing that you are well schooled, you are well enlightened, you've traveled well, you have to follow a certain path, and you the last baby, only one in the team. Look at what you are doing. And I just did not want drama, because there was a lot of drama going on in the first place. That's because I actually lived with my grandmother.
Okay.
Just that our father was around time to time. I grew to even university level before having a one-on-one interaction with my mom, and we even still have our differences.
Okay.
And she's not even been part of the upbringing of my child.
Okay.
She was around, she wanted to, but I just felt like, you stay away, let me deal with who's my best friend.
Okay.
To a certain extent. So the shape started from there, where I didn't want to tell anybody. It's the same reason why I didn't want to tell the gentleman. But the doctors who were my dad's friends and juniors, who had been administering care for me for, because it's a permanent life condition, there's no cure.
Yeah.
They knew, and they were just shielding me.
Okay.
So they were trying to psych me for me myself to go home and go and say that I'm pregnant. And it's quite complicated, and they are scared.
Yeah.
Nobody wants me dead in their hands. So at a certain point, when the gentleman who was also misbehaving, because you know with PCOS, you get pregnant and it doesn't show itself in the actually type 4.
Yeah.
The very serious one that deals with hormones and genetics.
Yeah.
So with his case, you're like, this thing happened now. How come you are saying you are pregnant now? And so this issue of it's not my child came up, and I don't know the child of my father hovering around.
The shame of that alone,
So that's why I didn't want to go to anybody. So it got to a point, I wanted them to abort the kid. And Prof and his people was like, if you try, we'll get you arrested. Because no doctor, knowing your profile and how far you have come as a young girl, would abort that 5-month baby for you.
Yeah.
And if you know you would abort it, why did you allow us to hospitalize you during
sustain the pregnancy?
So it was one of our family doctors who I cried to actually come and bail me out. So he came to bail and say that he would talk to me and he go to my father. So when Daddy and my stepmom and co came in the pregnancy officially, I was still living outside, being cared for by Rahim and co, because I was lucky to be able to afford an apartment. Just I could put a good shelter on my head, but what was going on internally was quite depressed, and every time I felt like I want to kill myself, that kind of vibe. So they were mostly around. So when Daddy and the family came in officially, it was 6 months. The hospital just called them. He came and I was there, and me.
And he just came to see that you were pregnant.
My belly never came. And the funny thing is, he had held his birthday party and I was there serving and doing everything when I had to. I never got a belly. When I got a belly, I was about giving birth.
Right.
So he came and they informed him that, and Wakacho say,
just like that.
Nana Asumesi, we don't want to, so please find a way. So he was surprised and was like, oh, it's bad, but for her case, it's good. We know how to go about it. So there was a whole lot of drama in the hospital, and there's another child who is quite elderly, like Philippa, who is also a big woman's child, who had a similar case in their hands some time ago. So we're like, say
just like that,
but
right?
Say I say so, Nana. Find a way, because it seems it was the post-trauma events that made her leave the house.
Okay.
That made her end up, and she's not even in good terms with the guy. And this is the guy who ends up being a family friend. He's my elder. You see, our dad is quite old and he didn't give birth early, so we call some of our cousins uncles.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
So my cousin, my uncle's school son, yes, who has history with some of my other cousins. Very, very complicated.
I can tell.
So nobody wanted to tackle that, and I didn't know, because I met him on my own turf.
Okay.
Before I realized all these things, and I decided to back off, since I'm trying to escape from home. And if this issue have to make me go back to explain myself, I won't come. But he had found out about the pregnancy, and he was also doing skirmishes, because like a case, and my uncle, my cousin was coaching him. Do this. So
it looks like everybody thinks of the man, his image, and all of that.
Yes. So I was convinced to move back to the house. So when I was going back to the house, the pregnancy was like 6 months, 3 weeks there, and complications were getting worse. And Daddy is that open-minded person. We have our issues, serious issues concerning the shame part, but he allowed that the guy could come around.
Okay.
But at the guy's mother is these diasporans who are popular for building churches, doing foundation and charity work. So the analogy here becomes, and I mean, my stay, media, me baby, my enwo, a drama ba. The drama started, and I cry, see, and yeah, back did it. So she, fast forward, she came to Ghana, came to say a lot of things. That time she didn't know my background, or before somebody prompted and I had a crown was so say, oh, yeah, more. Now, even your son, he goes to the house, blah, blah. So she couldn't take back her word. So right now she has to do defense, because most of the trauma I went through is from their end. My family, I know them already, so I know how to do it.
You were used to them already.
So this woman is the whole one who brought that she is not going to support a child out of wedlock with her name and blah blah. So she started pushing the narrative where yes, my counselors are prompting me. So she started pushing the narrative where as learned as I am, and knowing that why didn't I abort the baby like So this was where my first serious public shame came, where I had to openly tell her that, Auntie Asumesi, please, I've not come to ask you people for money or help. You have come, and I'm trying to be nice. You said you want to see me. I can't abort that kid. And secondly, me, I want the kid. So if that's what you people will continue with, like your daughter started with, it was actually her daughter who started it with phone calls and messages. Since you people made your son deny it in the first way before you came, and you've put analysis together.
So you said that to throw them off?
I just said it to her that, Auntie, if you people feel I'm ashamed or something, because me sitting here, I've seen your daughters, so you can't say that to me, even though they may be elderly, like some in their 40s or something. And this is you who your children are married to wives here and there, living their life. This is you taking care of people's children for free, some of them being out of wedlock. And the last time I checked, your son is a problematic one with a name for that. So if this is what you think, I just said it's a nice with them, you is something. You people can go back.
Is there a nice way to say that?
Yes, you people can go back to not accepting the baby. But you just tell your son to back off. Because the last time I checked, I'm the one lying to people at his workplace that I'm his cousin. I'm this, I'm that. Just for the sanity of I and my baby. So we can go back to that. Then at my family side, since some of them are friends with his cousins and stuff, I think they all seem to make it look like I don't even know the father of my child is rubbish. And me, my family, some know I have this condition, and this is how it behaves. By the time you realize you're pregnant, the baby is already old. They come out with their nails, their butts, and everything. This is PCOS. It's a hormonal something.
Yeah.
And so the shame gave me started from my house. Then the gentleman's family came to add. Then the worst part, I don't want to go to hospital. Because I don't know what is with these big private hospitals. I'm not saying the doctors were like that to me, but
and it's not even all hospitals.
No, it's with all these stereotype old midwives and caregivers. Because like, hey, how is she being able to afford to come here?
Okay. All those you have been in contact with. We have to make that caveat.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. She's not coming with insurance. She's paying cash. She's not a Chinese. She's not a Caucasian. She's
so how does she? Yeah.
Oh, I had one tell me, hey, we should book moves for a doctor. I can say phone
Said that in your hearing.
Then me, I'm in a queue. Me that I'm dying that doctors because of me. Some flights come to come to see me. It's because you say queue me could be China. We be need now, but they need serious. And this is somebody who just can't sleep, has insomnia during pregnancy. This is me, who can't walk, has pre-eclampsia and is bleeding, and me, I've booked for doctor. Now maybe I better say, oh, me could be.
Wow.
And that time too, I think I had trimmed, my hair was falling off.
Okay.
That's alopecia part.
Yeah.
So I had just trimmed it and I was looking much more like a baby, and I felt like I don't have anybody to impress. I'm too tired to even be putting on wig and stuff. Those who know me already, there's no way. So I go and I also look like a very, very pretty small girl who, I don't know what they were thinking. So me with a shame, and I even church cried. I didn't bother wanting to, because I don't want to do with this drama of because he came you have to be shown, you have to sit at the back here.
Yeah,
Because
there's also shame in the church
some way,
as well.
somehow, Jesus was born out of wedlock. So, as for church, I even stopped getting into contact with them. Even though this is me where in the university, since I have multiple personalities, so I have my church side where I served a lot of big men of God, and I have my church where I have a part in media and all. So I decided that, hush, let me cut those people off. Just that I had a few of my spiritual fathers who knew what was going on, even though it's medical.
Right.
I need all the assistance I can get, who are just wasting their time to be with me every Monday.
Spending their time.
But the others were busy thinking about the fight that, and so they are crying about the chair. This is me who didn't care. Just cut everybody off. Because the last time I checked, even David, their lineage is wedlock. So you don't come and do that drama with me. So with me, as I said, a lot of people are even around here in the mall present, wanting to hear what I have to say, but that's why I'm hush about a lot of things. So me, the shame, and it's like your sisters too have went to a certain part, or she has 2 masters, she has 2 PhD, she's going to marry, she even with her condition,
But you're kind of different, right?
Yes, so with me, the shame I'm still dealing with, but just I don't really even care. So
yeah,
me, the shame, I'm still in it, I'm not out, and even my own family members, those I used to live with back in the UK, who've not seen me for some time, think I exhibited a bad behavior. That's how come the Mills family did not want to accept.
Right.
When they came back, I was quarreling with them. But this is not even the case.
Right.
It's far from it.
Right.
I felt it was a case of mental blackmail, societal perception. That's everybody wants to form a story. Because I had my dad on the other part too, trying to control
the situation, right?
Put certain stories in my mouth, which is not my truth. Make me live a certain way, cage me in a certain way, and it's not so. And this is my reality. I've never even hidden the fact that because they will tell you that after birth, I had to break. I stayed in the hospital like 1 month for supervision.
Okay.
After birth, we had to pay more. Daddy had to come and pay more for me to stay like 3 weeks because I was put in an induced coma. I had seizure. Yes, during the season, I couldn't give birth when the water burst. So I was just there during the emergency serious session. I had the kite stand and was a meeting was also a roof from an over. We should check it. So they had to change the whole procedure, induce me in coma. This is my baby who came out. She didn't want to cry. She was frowning. That one was another headache. They were telling me, your daughter is nice, she doesn't want to cry. They had to go and call one of the traditional midwives around to do a lot before we even had her opening her mouth. The next thing I realized, if it was a Tuesday, I wake up on like a Saturday morning. Just that
you have been through a lot.
Oh yes, and I came back and I think half of my body, because of all the drama that was still going through, that they were still bringing it to me at the hospital. It had to do with hospital's perceptions. And the Mills family is still trying to bring it there. The Mill himself played a role that nearly killed me during my birth. Yes, he had my stuff. He was supposed to bring it, and he was busy sleeping. He's trying to say he slept for 72 hours. Yes, so I woke up and
my goodness,
and almost half my left side. I nearly got a mild stroke. My left side was deforming, but my right side was okay. I couldn't control my left side. So they will tell you at this station here that as early as I got home 1 month, I and my baby were outside with my hunchback that I couldn't work properly. I'll come give her to Ajua or Sandra. I'll go and sit somewhere. Rahim and Co will talk to me. Because after I think 2 or 3 months, my stepmother started with her drama, and I feel like, Master, this is why I didn't want to come. So I had to leave the house. And some of your people here were the ones helping me, trying to get a new place here and there. But still, I was using this money, so credit to him that I used this money to go and look for an apartment.
Does your dad know you're on air talking about your story today?
And that's why I said, this issue, I don't want Oh, he knows, but just like everybody's eager to hear what I have to say. That's why I'm branding a lot of things now. But they know
it's still your story.
Yes,
it
is. So I always try to them that it's my truth. That's why I'm even being open about some of the facts that it wasn't good for them to allow me to go with all that drama that they were even bringing to just because I was in a ward and I had the whole place dedicated to me. They were just bringing the drama. So me, his money was with me. I just went to look for an apartment, finish it, stay there. And that time, it was like, I was more than a worker here, so I get up the main itinerary used to come here.
Yeah, just hang out.
And this is me who also, and the biggest shame, these people come and beat me. I had a problem with school. Since I said I had to go back to, I had completed, but I had issues. And in the midst of, after years of legal battling, since I am the one who was the victim, but in our society, you can't be a nice girl, be book smart, be street smart, and also do a good course. Yes, somebody has to sleep with you. So the minute you are not sleeping with somebody, and these are even those of us who have fathers and family members with addresses, imagine. So after all that time, the time that I was called to come back, the issue could have been made simple, but these people allowed me to take my belly back to go and do a year that I had done.
A year?
Courses that I had done. Oh yes. So during the time that I was bleeding, that I was refusing to go home, I was doing my special setup supplementary exams. I didn't want to leave the institution, but so yes, I was with my belly, I was bleeding, they knew. But they didn't make it easy just to show me that you're better. Because the person in question was now the current HOD.
Okay.
So yes, Ochrem. And even he could have cut everything short for me to move past it. I had to go and give birth, come back, and he was still not satisfied with assessment. So I was going with the fresh baby to
oh
do
my goodness.
Oh yes. So she'll be in a basket, be with me. I'll be in the class with people like 2 years, 3 years below my class. Who know? She was like, they know, sit in class with them. But my baby too, God being so good, I think since when I had I was learning maths 252. She's very smart, so she's a very independent baby. She doesn't like crying. She behaves like a 5-year-old. Those who know her, they'll tell you. So we'll be in the class and she'll not even cry. We didn't know there's a baby here. We'll be in a lecturer's office, like those who were good to me. Just I can't mention it, but there were some who were good to me who would even hold her. So you go and do, because they know you've been through the show, but just one person is refusing to, because that's where the problem stems from. So they would have to hold her, and later, then there's people like, hey, I'm like, this is my truth. This is what I find myself in. And my father too is the type that it got to a point, he just didn't want to use more of his power and his influence. Like, just do what they want. Let us get done with them. It doesn't make you lesser of a non-intellectual or a non-brilliant student. So this baby, her first friends were lecturers and professors. So yes, I had to sit through exams with the pre-eclampsia, like your whole feet are swollen. You sit through 3 hours, 2 hours papers. Some of the female lecturers would come for MJ. Some of the papers, it was special. I was alone. Some of them would be so nice, be like, oh, what's now air conditioning room. Some to be like, some of them are on an agenda. Some two will be getting me water. Some will be standing by me like, oh yes, so me the shame. I think the one that was getting to me the most was the one with my educational life.
Right.
Me having to go back whilst I knew this wasn't supposed to be.
Right.
You know? And it felt like, why did it have to be this time? Because we've been battling up with this thing. Why did it have to be now that I'm facing this? But I just have to swallow everything.
But you've been able to do it. That's the most important
so
part.
As I said, my baby there, she's quite popular. They even gave her a nickname. She's called Potato. So Potato is quite popular. Yeah. So me with the shape, as I said, I'm still in it. I don't care, and I'm living my truth. Because if I was able to be moving her around a place with over 60,000 people, and it's and this was the girl who were back in school, going to talk to her, crying, have to go through people like Rahim, and she's back with.
The number of times you mentioned Rahim, I think he's been a great influence,
he's
right?
More or less like the fraternal school father I had.
Okay.
I didn't go to a mixed school, but due to ARS, RC, EPEC and stuff, I met him back in SHS. Okay. And I got to the university to go and meet them being SRC executives. Right. So the mentorship with me also having to come and follow with the leadership and activism and all those things started with them. Me going for these political conferences and seminars, speaking outside the country, those things.
You're a strong woman.
Yes. So me, the shape, I'm still in it and I don't care. Some people are really waiting for me. It's not worth mentioning. Yeah. And this is me who had learned a side hustle of distribution. I learned marketing courses on my own. So back in school, I had a chance to do with big alcoholic brands. And when I left home and everybody thought I was going to die because this is who police people were taking you to school, I went to Eastern Region to go and use that to work, and it worked for me. So I had direct accesses to the company now. I could get products, marginalized here and there and all. So when I had to leave home again with the fresh baby, it meant I had to go back to that work with the fresh baby to go on distribution line to enforce products on people.
The fresh baby has been through a lot.
So it got to a time, my father was just reporting me to people that are crying and said doing. So when she even had to start going to school, instead of her to be put in daycare, they jammed her to KG1. This is somebody who forced to start working by 5 months. Started speaking here and there because I think I was spending a lot with her since I had to go back, and I didn't want to go and fumble and get disgraced. So I think, and I think me not, yes, and one other shame, this perception where and I win at 3 months and I ain't told Bedina I didn't pay and this stereotype every day my baby has to wear white. Stuff. It's good on her. I'll put it on her. So I'm glad I didn't listen to those things, and I could eat, and she was big too. So when I bring her out, if I'm not the one saying it,
you wouldn't know that.
That yes. So we were outside. Malcolm, them there and all, they all know her because I'm going to supply stuff. So by the time she had to go to school, she was already behaving like a big madam because she's been in the university. She started schooling for engineering. Yes. So yes. So I think with my case, I'm still in the shame, and I literally don't even care.
You've decided to move on.
I moved on the day I realized what I've even brought the Mills family in the picture, and not care about what my big sisters have to say. Because to date, I have people in my family who never congratulated me for giving birth, knowing that this is our genetic something we are battling. Yeah, that's made some of you leave the country and never return, if not for your prospects and what you have to show for us women. So if you're due to one or two reasons, your youngest child leaves home, at least I brought back something. I've done well. I've brought back a baby, and we don't have to. You people now don't have to do with the drama of papa and mommy. Let's say what I've even saved you people from that kind of judgment. But this is the case where to date you've never given me you've never congratulated me for conceiving, never given me anything, but you always have an opinion about what I want to do with my life. Meanwhile, yes, you are my direct auntie, uncle, direct family friend who's been there since childhood. But at this point in my life, even with my struggle, there was a time I had to stay in my apartment room continuous for 3 months because people owed me, and I think you said we'll get there. So when we get there with the health and when the meals are not around, how some of these kids tend to behave. And this is me who has run out, depleted all my funds that I have access to, the rest being cut off. I never came to you for anything. But I always feel you have an opinion that should fuel the perception of those outside. This is BS. So for me, the shame, I'm even considering making it my last name.
No.
No. We are getting there.
I think you should look at it more as you're a very resilient person to go through all that and come out on the other end.
You see how I'm laughing. That's why I'm telling them. I know they are listening. They'll do tuning from Europe. That's what I'm telling them. I'm even considering making shame my last name because I don't care, and I'll make shame.
We don't endorse that.
Brand it well.
We don't endorse that. Let me get on Facebook and read a few comments. Nanaraba Jache Bukari again. She says that pretty small girl stuff. Some doctors and nurses will make you feel like a teenage pregnant girl. Nana Bedu Bonsu Jr. says, great show. Yes, he's back. Or he's in now. Nanaraba again says, Madam, please forget that shame cry. That's how she writes when we're doing the show. You should see and hear what they are going through that they have hidden. Your truth has set you free. Please live out loud with your head held high. Which shame? Forget. I can imagine the action she's adding to her comment. Nana Bedu Bonsu Jr. again, he says, what a show today. Indeed, Nana, what a show. There are certain topics on this show that I don't come in, right? When the person is speaking, I allow them to speak because I feel like I said at the beginning, we all know that they are single mothers, but sometimes we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to go there. Let's assume or pretend that every woman who has a child is married. It's not the
You know,
case.
the funny thing is, you even having this one. I went to fight with Nana that every day you come and put married women on the shoulder. They come and tell us.
Oh, you did.
Oh, why do you think I was the one doing it? They'll come and tell us.
There's no intention to put only married women.
I was just sarcastically fighting them.
Yeah.
You know, some of us, we have stray bullets if you allow us. We shoot. So,
Yeah.
yes.
And not everybody is willing to share their story openly like that. Yeah. Let me talk to Philippa for a while. I wanted to talk to Philippa about shame, but at the rate we are going.
I think she said so
much of
about
it,
shame.
right? Right.
But her
Philippa.
situation is quite different from mine. But
Okay.
she said a lot about shame, so
Yeah.
I think we can move to something else.
Okay, fantastic. Do you find that, okay, Michael Kwenu says, I don't know why she's still mentioning shame. Please enjoy your life. So nobody agrees that you should add shame to your name.
No, I am just. Mine is a stray bullet and
No,
shooting. So.
don't worry. Don't worry about it. Philippa, do you find that you have to overcompensate? Like, because you think the child's father is not in their life, you have to sort of pamper them to make up for the absence of the other parent?
Well, I don't think so.
Okay.
Whatever you do, you need to train your child to come out as best.
Okay.
And training a child to come out as best require you being both hard and soft.
Okay.
Yes, and for me, I told you already about my background where my parents were really not there for me to know how to actually train a child at home. It was a difficulty for me.
Right.
Yes, I struggled to get through it. But I believe that once is your child, you want the best for her. So where you have to be hard, you have to be hard. Where you have to be soft, you have to be soft.
Okay.
And especially when they are girls,
Yep.
you know, when they are girls, it gets even more difficult because you don't know, okay, if I'm going to shout on my child or if I'm going to tell her this, what experience is she going to get out there when I'm not with her? What advices will she be taking from other people? How is she, especially when there's no man with you, you are supposed to play the role of a man
Yep.
and play the role of a woman.
Yep.
And it is difficult for a woman to play the role of a man.
Okay.
The mere spirit of a man exudes some sort of protection over a child. And so when there's no man, a child who is not really nurtured and a child who is not, I'm trying to find the right words for it, a child who is really not well taken care of will go astray.
Yep.
Yes, when there's no man. And so when you find yourself as a woman, a young woman for that matter, having to take care of a child, especially a girl, then you need to be both soft and hard.
Yeah.
You can't say, oh, because the father is not there, or because I'm a single mom, I have only one child, so I'll have to pamper to compensate. No.
Okay.
Because there will come a point where whatever training, whatever upbringing you're giving to your child will reflect who you are. When people look at your child, they can directly tell how you brought the child up. They can directly tell who you are. Yes. There are situations where who you are really may differ. Circumstances may cause your children or your child to go a certain direction that you particularly aren't happy about. But most often, your child's upbringing, whoever your child becomes, is a direct reflection of who you are. Yes.
I like that.
Yes. So you don't need to compensate for whatever loss you have as a single parent.
Okay.
You are a single parent. There's nothing you can do about it. You're a single mother. There's nothing you can do about it. You need to ensure that you're bringing the best out of this child.
Right.
Whatever you do.
Right. I agree completely. Nanaraba is responding to Michael's comment to you about, I don't know why she's still mentioning it. Listen to her comment. Yes, la. She got to stop it. Look at her fine self with all that swag. I see strength when I look at her. Right? So you are seeing shame. Nobody's looking at it that way.
I say it in a way that I don't even see that. I've never seen that way. I'm just saying I make them happy thinking the way they think.
Yeah, but you don't let it get to you.
Okay. Oh, no.
Fantastic.
Trust
You are
me,
still
I
alive.
I took my child to church. I went to tell my pastor, "Da, maybe to baby." He was like, Funny enough, there was never a naming ceremony how it's supposed to be.
Right.
But they christened the child, and my
In
pastor
church.
was crying that, and but he did it. Me, I brought a child. If people have wasted my time counseling, go and bring them. And I told them, I don't have problem with them. I just want to do this for my kid because it was done for me. So me, I'm the last person who cares about that way.
Right.
Go and ask my church members. I took her to all my spiritual fathers. They'll be crying like it's not for me. I brought the child. Bless the child. You will bless the child. They blessed her. So yeah.
You know what I'm thinking? You have a level of strength that I don't think every single mother may have that.
Oh, young female, even if you put
Yeah.
it single mother. Because at times I feel I don't know why God is making me live my life from the back to the front. Because at times I feel some of these experiences I have with work line, education, especially how I was planning this reproductive health issues, and I feel is God intentionally making me live like somebody who is in their 50s married to like one big man? Like I'm living from the back to the front.
There's always a reason.
Explaining earlier.
Yeah.
That depending on which path God wants to take you, He
You
will
go
allow
through,
you to go through
yes.
circumstances, and
Yeah.
that circumstance will build you up for your assignment. Sometimes we see these things as struggles, we see them as obstacles, but they're actually blessings in disguise. They are your training processes.
Yeah.
And if you don't go through them, you will not ever be able to fulfill your purpose.
Yeah.
Somebody might be listening to us now. Because of the way you felt, they will be strengthened. Go like, oh, okay. So this same situation I'm going through, this person went through it, and this is how they handle it. So this is how I can go through it. It doesn't mean everybody will take it like that, but people can find strength in other people's failures, and sometimes these are just our purposes, nothing more. They're not extraordinary. These are the things that we are supposed to be doing.
And the funny thing is, I've got to a point where at times people feel I'm emotionless, things don't move me. This is me who slept in cats, so things don't really move me. It's not childbirthing, like graceful unplanned childbirth that is going to destroy my story. Because as I said, me at times, and with the question that you asked, me, my baby is that young, but I think you see, and nobody has to tell you this is your US baby. So, for instance, this overcompensation thing. Why should I bring my child to school? You people say the way she is, you people jump her from daycare straight to, is it Nejuan or so? And she's beating them there because they don't know what they are about.
And they say because of the way she is, as in
no,
her
she's
size.
The overly resilient, autonomous.
Right.
I live my life, baby, unless you really get to me before I stop what I'm doing.
Okay.
This is my type of. So they jumped her, and she still went to the G1, and she was beating her siblings who are like 2 and 3 and 3.5.
Right.
And they call me and they were like, Obano, I was here in Tiano. I was here, like, oh, auntie, you let her beat them. Every day I come and beg. Why am I saying this? Because the moment you keep, this is how she came out. You don't know her story. You don't know how much she has struggled. I'm not saying, because me, I really put her in line. If you come and meet me working with her, you think she's like 4 and we are living like we are friends.
Okay.
And this is our society. Everybody think they have an opinion about how somebody wants to bring up her child, and those who feel they know a bit of your story and your struggles, and that you are in this condition and you are affording this for your child, and blah blah. So with my kids, I told them in the school that only if she beats somebody, let the person beat her too. If she's going too much out of line, but you trying to put her in line to tame her, to make her timid. I don't want my baby to be timid. I want her to be expressive, because looking at my story and what I have to say, this is just childbirth. If you make my baby timid, and maybe because she's even going to be prettier and nicer than me, looking at how she's coming, and she has to face the same things I'm facing, how does she survive and she doesn't end up as society engineering all the females having to use what they have to get what they want? How does she come out? So I prefer that every day I come and beg. Every day I come and compensate, so that when I get home, I know how to do with her, that the next day should not come to school and do that at this event because she started schooling quite early. Than for you thinking you shout at my child, you beat her, you but no. People have a problem with this kind of manifestation. It's my child. Let her grow, get to the point where she wants to decipher if she doesn't want to go my way. Some are born Christians. We meet Buddhists and Kankers and stuff, and we want to join. So let her get to the point where I know when to beat her, I know when to, but all children don't have to come to school. I'm giving an example actually. And sleep at 12 because it's siesta. If she doesn't want to sleep, let her sit.
Yeah.
All that matters is that she's not disturbing those who are sleeping. But this is the hypocritical society where we feel if you, especially the single mother, who is bringing your child to school by yourself, not by a man, your child is like this, you cry, you came, you look like this. So automatically they feel
I get
you
what
can't
you're trying
take
to
care
say.
of your child, you don't know what you are about.
Yeah. I get what you're trying to say.
My child will sit and you give her Scrabble by this time and she's doing stuff that don't make sense, but you know she's seen some of us do it, so she knows this has to go here, this has to go here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as I feel, me, I've never even had a problem the meal not being out, because every time everybody asks me, hey, now where they wine bar, since everybody thinks they know my father's child, I'll be like, me kwana me wo ye. That's one of my trigger points.
A virgin birth, right?
And everybody wants to debate. I'm like, I give birth alone. This is my truth. This is what I want to say. So our society, this overcompensation thing you're asking, wants to push you out for you to ask. I'm like, please, I give birth alone. Because as nice as I am, if I give birth with a male, I wouldn't be going through all these things by myself. So in my head, I give birth alone. Yes, I'm a bisexual. I will give birth alone. Maybe, probably too. I bought a donor sperm and I give birth.
And all those are possibilities now, right?
And at times I look at them like, so if people are still in that cake around where, funny enough, if let's say I'm not being petty, and indeed I said I give birth alone, you'll be surprised. Don't you know we have sperm donor banks? We have surrogates here and there.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just keep quiet. Maybe it's because you have school to do. So I just keep quiet because they always want you to overcompensate. And I don't even know who gave the threshold standard that automatically the female was the promiscuous one. That's why she was not married.
Yeah.
The child was not named. And the man is not
I think that's one
and the
of
man
the
can
areas
move
where-
on.
That's one of the areas where the shame is placed on the woman.
Yeah.
So when there's a situation like this, everybody points at the woman.
Yeah.
So now you have to carry your shame and the shame of the man.
Yeah. Because you are the one who is pregnant.
You are the one who's carrying the pain.
Yeah.
Maybe the
Nothing
one
on the
now,
man shows.
You are the one now who is always seen with the child, especially where like our case.
Yeah.
We wanted to keep family out because me, I don't like drama. It's not because of your 30 minutes help that you're coming to traumatize me. And automatically, once people don't even ask to know that you are intentionally taking people out of the circle, automatically they feel they are not the type where we say wow some back. Especially when I was going for weed. Hey, me, I was going for my weed. American style. My child is in my basket. I have my handbag. At times, I'll put her in the baby sling, which is more. I bought the designer one, so it looks more like a bag. By the time you know there's a baby in it, it's already my turn. And since I don't have a mother flowing me, I don't have a sister. I don't have.
You're not wearing white, right?
Whole kinsmen wearing white. Why? Maybe white doesn't look good on my baby. And maybe and you see, I don't even know how our society thinks. Every day, if I have to do white because I'm coming there, maybe I have a lot of things doing.
Yeah.
Considering time, because with my kind of caliber, when I'm doing whites for baby, if I'm using washing machine, I now have to do delicate settings. Go and buy stain remover, incense booster, buy softener. In extreme cases, add bleach. Maybe for the period I'm in, I can't do all these things.
Yeah.
So if pink looks good on her and looks more feminine and babyish, why can't I do that? That one is even another shame and it's a problem.
Yeah.
They all show about white back, over and kwana over. But na crack it. What show the colors are going to life see.
I know all those comments, they are totally unnecessary, right?
You even
But
have
it's
what
common.
it
Yes, I
It's
know.
very, very common.
I know.
Yes. That's
I
if
know.
you have what it takes to do that. And these same people will complain if you are a single mother, bringing your child to the hospital, wearing the child white, coming alone, always wearing the child white, coming, hey, And now the akraketo awakwako. I remember they did that to me at the hospital. Akraketo awakwako and prewasemon na akamo. Like when you go for weighing, so me, I stopped going for weighing at a very early stage. I didn't do those things because I felt ashamed.
Yeah.
I felt intimidated.
Yeah.
The way they will look at you.
Even for you at your age,
Comments,
that must have been
the comments they will
something.
pass. Akwara ketewa wakako emprewa nyinseng na etumu for amonte and those kind of things. So I stopped going very, very early. I had this woman who used to come to our house with this herbal stuff. She was an old woman. She would come and treat me. She would come and massage me. She would come and do all of those things. Yeah.
Wow.
So me, funny enough, I didn't actually get these things for me, my personal care, because as I said, there was a lot of drama. And with my kids, what helped me was, since initially I was planning not to involve anyone, and if I die, the hospital should take the baby. I actually, what do you call it? I actually learned a lot of things. So there's one children's home I used to volunteer at. So I'll go and I'll look at the caretaker. I started studying her just when I found out I was pregnant, like around 2 months.
Wow.
So I learned a lot.
Wow,
Then
that was really smart.
Yes, I'm a science person.
Really
too,
smart.
And you've been doing thesis and I will go online, read. So me, you see, people don't even know about doctors, the ones who are called children occupational therapists.
Yeah.
For me, with my complications, I was swimming a lot.
Okay.
So Abna came out very strong and very athletic. And even as at 3 weeks, I knew how to exercise how to use her, how to make her leg touch her back. Because I had learned it.
Right.
And I had watched a lot of videos. I was following a lot of these foreign renowned doctors who do those things. And I also go to the children's home, see the woman doing it to the bit older babies.
Yeah.
So all that I was praying for was not to give birth to a male. Because how to do the circumcision.
Yeah.
So when it came a female, I was so happy because the things that they taught, they were now coming to teach me that they will come and they want to insult me like 30 minutes before I knew, because just when I woke up from coma and I knew I couldn't produce breast milk. I had ordered my pump and stuff already. I knew what to take. I knew traditionally to what to do. So for me, for my case, I had learned a lot of things. I had my
That was
own.
just 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, I had my own thermometer. I had my own rectal thermometer.
Okay.
I know how to assess to know when the stool is getting hard and everything. I knew how to bath her. Like those things that they think the kinsmen have to come from the village to come and do. So somebody has to come and insult me. I was doing it and I did not allow my dad to bring anybody.
You know, the thing with all this you're talking about when it comes to the hospital, the weighing, it still happens, and it happens to even people who are married, right?
For me, 2 weeks after I gave birth to my child, when I went for the second weighing, and he treated me like that, and I decided not to go again, my mother's sister, my auntie, whom I was living with, actually taught me twice how to take care of my baby, bath her, how to massage her, how to do all of these things. 2 weeks, I started bathing my baby. I started applying whatever I had to apply, the medications, stretching her, massaging her, all of those things I did myself.
Fantastic. Let's catch up on comments. The way we are going, we will not finish. Nana again, she says, our lives are solutions for others.
Yeah.
Is there not a cause? He, God, even uses our mess as a message. Nana, but that's a whole sermon. So, Frimpong, take the offering. At this point, thanks for joining. Posh, baby Jay, she says, hello, Lady Franca. Posh, you haven't been watching the show these days. I'm calling you out on air. I hope you're well. Nanarba again, she says, people just don't know when to drink water and mind their business. Their issues are more than our nation. So that's why we're talking about issues like this on the show. Maybe somebody will listen, and when they see an unwed mother, they'll be kinder to them, you know. It's only in a few cases that people will opt to have a baby out of wedlock. It's only a few cases. So you should know that if you see someone like that, they're already going through their own drama, and you don't add to it, right? And even, you know, to the point, the people who are even married also have issues. Everybody has issues. It's not limited to.
There are people who are actually living married, but they are running a single parent home.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because they are married, they have kids. The daddy is absent. He's
Yeah.
never there.
Yeah.
The woman does everything.
Yeah.
Mentally, emotionally, financially.
They are
There are
alone.
people married who are still single mothers in their homes. So
True.
it's not just
No, but
about
me, I think with that case, I think they are still better off than us, because I had this experience where my baby had to be in the machine, and these pediatric nurses who had to teach me, she had neonatal journeys and all, they didn't teach me. But since I knew, just when they brought it to me when I woke up, I did my vitamin B complex. I knew how to make the belly button come. Of course, I've watched videos, I've watched it well, and I had a lot of stuff being brought to me, because I bought all those things just to make sure they don't come and continue what they were doing. Fast forward, this baby was a very strong baby, but I think after 4
Your support
months,
system is standing there looking at you.
yes, I think after 4 months, she was always sick. And you know the funny thing, what I'm saying, even with those people, they are better off than us. We will waste money, because this is an incubator baby with complications, a whole lot of money wastage. There are different ways their blood even has to be brought out for labs. She said every day I was stressed and I was crying because I was tired for her. We will check everything, nothing will be wrong with her. Just when we are admitted, and unluckily for me, when I don't get one in a ward, because I just is not one drama, and I'm putting, let's say, 2 in a ward, 3 in a ward, where somebody's child is sick, and they are coming in with their dad. This girl out of nowhere will become the man's child. If we are admitted for 3 days and maybe they came to spend 2 of it with us there, she just fraternize with the father in question. I did be shy, but at times I think most of those people I met about on those 6 encounters, I think they just understood from afar.
Yeah.
So I had one man in particular. I think that time Abna had just turned 1, and she kept on getting sick. We didn't know what was wrong with her. I'll be calling Rahim crying. It's like every day I'm tired, and my spiritual fathers to be on one side doing their own thing. So there was this particular man. I think he had studied that. I had come the first 1, 2 days. So I came in. I don't know what she said to the wife, but I think it got to a time the wife was giving me attitude. She was on the next bed after mine. The man would just take up. After 2 days, this girl was falling with discharge. All the expensive drugs we bought was not administered. And this was not the first time she was doing that to me. So with comparing it to what you are saying, at least you know that if you have a child like
There's
my
a
child
father at
who
home.
is so in, I don't know what this girl needs, excuse my language, like she's so much in search of a father. That's not come of it.
That's
Like,
how you feel.
No, because you bring her out in the garage just here, short man's garage. She just gets there. It's like she lives with them. But she not goes all females.
Right.
But it's like she needs a father so badly that, I don't know, she just fraternizes with them. And if that day she was not eating, you go back and she's eating.
Okay.
So with their kids, at least you know that there's a dad, and no matter how much the dad leaves, the dad will come back
home.
And these are cases where they are restraining others here and there. No matter what you do, there's no father coming. And because of this, and I think we get on the relationship side when you want to enter into a new one. I know that one is another
We'll
topic,
get there another day because
yes, I know. So I'm giving an example where, and there's nobody, and it's you. So you know, she actually calls my father Dada.
Oh,
she calls
does.
my brother Dada. And me,
How does it make you feel, Ayiwa?
That's what I'm saying. I always feel bad, but it's like she's always pressurizing me to get her a dad.
No.
And she'll come and call me Obaya. She's never called me Mama.
Really?
Yes, but she'll see, like I said in the hospital, like the 4 times I've had that encounter, she will go and fraternize with the man in question and be calling maybe whoever, maybe the wife who is there with the 6 children, Mama.
Oh,
And I'll be going for my child, and my child is calling me Obaya, and you don't even, and this is just a little very child. So yes, I think with my case, these things, it really gets to me. But at times I just tell her, sister, it's just the 2 of us.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
I get that you can deal with any shame or whatever negative emotion when it's directed at you, but you don't want to see it.
Yes,
When
because
your child seems to be
we
going
come
through
out
that.
and you let her come and see Nanora him. We won't live here. And it's not like she's not so okay at home. And what's the surprise that she's quite bubbly at home, and you see her and she's like a child. But you let her come, see maybe a male figure who looks a bit old that she's comfortable with. she wouldn't want to leave. And
I
then
think
even
that's
becomes a
why
problem.
we have, they say it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So the fact that there's no living dad doesn't mean that
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. So
she
when
will
my
not
father and
benefit from.
my cousins and my brothers are not around, it's very hectic. She just wake up in the morning, coffee. It's like, and then I become the enemy. It's like whatever I'm doing is not enough. Because
Yeah.
it's a child who can go out with my brother and come back at 12 a.m. and she's okay sleeping in the car than coming to sleep by me in the room on most days. It even extends to our driver.
I think
The driver has traveled. Yes.
Of course.
The
She's
driver
only
has-
2. So
Yes, the driver has traveled, and when she sees any car, I don't even know how she was able to see that. Yeah. Like, hey. So for my case, those things really get me because it's like I don't know, and people be going now. So man, no being red.
no. Don't listen. Don't listen. Posh Baby on Facebook, she says, "Forgive me, sis. You are forgiven." She says emotional abuse is a silent killer in our community. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. And I really hope that when we have these discussions, people listen and we make small changes. You know, we can't change what has been happening for years in 120 or 2 hour radio show, right? But we can change some people's mindset. We can change some people's approach
It's a gradual
to some of these things. Philippa, your child is 20, you said.
yes, my child was 20 January 9th.
So she's done the whole teenage.
Yes,
How did that go?
it was an experience I wouldn't like to play back.
Wow.
An experience I would never like to play back. Often I cried in my room. I felt like a failure because this is me trying to build a future, a career for myself with my daughter. She was in school, or go to school, I'll go to work, go and hustle in Accra, doing all these events. Sometimes I come home in the night. I get home in the night, my daughter is sleeping. I didn't know what she was doing on the outside. I didn't know which friends she was mingling with on the outside. Till one day, I went out to work. And then something just clicked. I decided to come back home. I got home around 8 p.m. and realized my daughter was not at home. She was just about 16 then. She was not at home. I roamed the whole area, asking everybody where my daughter was, not knowing some colleagues of hers, her seniors from JHS, had actually come to our house to visit. They took her out and they gave her, there's this thing the boys take that highest,
Ecstasy.
no, they have a name for it. I think it's a drug they sell in a pharmacy.
Is it tramadol?
I don't know. I think that's it. And my daughter was dazed. I saw her at 12 a.m. Somebody actually brought her to me. She was high.
Wow.
And it's ecstasy.
I looked at my daughter, and the only thing that could come to me was all the lives that I had lived on the streets getting high. And I got scared. Really, 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 really scared. I did not know what to do. I cried like a baby.
Wow.
You know, it was a difficult time for me. Very, very difficult time for me. Raising up a girl alone is not easy. It is not easy. It's not like boys. See, when you have a boy and the boy goes out, he can go and fool around in a room. It's hard for a boy to go out, a male child, a little boy to go out and come back with problem. They can go and play, they can go and mingle with boys, go and fool around.
The mother.
Yes, go and fool around, do all of those things. But with girls, it's very, very complicated, especially when you, the mother, you don't have a lot of people around you who will be keeping eye
Yeah.
on this child.
Yeah.
I've lived with my child alone for like 7 years now. 7 to 10 years now. I've lived with my child alone. And I've been caring for her alone. I take the risk of going to work. Sometimes I'll come back home late and leave her alone consistently for days. It has been God who has taken care of this child up till now. God. So it's not been easy at all. It's not been easy. It's been pain. It stretches you as the female. You know, it calls for a certain strength a certain tenacity. It calls for a certain resilience that you need to be a man and be a woman at the same time.
Yeah.
You need to be wise. You need to work to provide everything your child needs. Because often with girls, it has to do with what she needs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
People can lure a girl into doing something when you, as the parent, as the single mom, you are unable to provide for her. So you need to stretch yourself to the ends to get what she needs, to make enough money. Let me put it in plain terms.
Yeah.
To
For
make
both
enough
of you.
money.
Yeah.
Especially if there's no man. You need to stretch to make enough money. So, I mean, because of all these things, I have become like a straightforward charactered person.
Okay.
I don't play. You know, I don't play. Today I was talking to Nana and he was saying, like, we were talking about personality and energies. And he said, okay, Philippa, when you entered, the energy is like we are working. Work. There's no friendship. You get it? And that's just me. Because for me, I don't have a lot of time to play. I need to ensure that I am working from pillar to post to get what I want, to take care of my child, give her the best of life so that she doesn't drift, so that people don't lure her into things that she's not supposed to go into. So it's about effort. You, the woman, if you're not smart enough, you will get so drained that by the time you are done taking care of this girl to the point, or this child to the point where the child can actually fend for themselves, you would have, what's the word? You would have aged. Or you wear
out, yeah.
And then you might not even look so attractive for another man to say, okay, let me take you, or let me get married to you, or let me spend time with you. You've become literally like a man.
Yeah, you always having a good laugh.
Yes, you become literally like a man. There's no time to play. There's no time to joke. You know, when I sit, I work like a man. I don't play. I don't do friends. I live with my daughter. I don't joke. I don't play. I don't do anything social. You get it? I mean, sometimes I take myself out. When I feel like, well, I'm tired, I can take a trip. I can go hide somewhere that's nice, serene, spend a weekend, spend a day or two and come back. But all these chitty-chatty girl thing, let's go here, let's go
don't have
here,
time.
let's go to... I don't do that. I don't have that kind of energy. Because as a single mom, I'm trying to take care of myself. I mean, at a point, I was doing my master's degree, paying for my master's, paying for my daughter's school fees, taking care of my businesses, whatever, supporting family, extended family.
And bills.
The same
haven't even come in,
the same family.
The same family.
Who made her put.
You know?
See, that's my mentality. Who made her carry the baby and stuff.
You're doing all of that. And so there is no time to do all this social stuff. And as I said, if you're not careful, you may lose yourself.
Yeah.
So you need to be working on you, working on your child, working on your business, working on family at the same time as a single mother. That's one of the most difficult aspects of being a single mother. Unless you are the type, well, there are types of single mothers, depending on what you want in life, and depending on where you are going.
And depending on the support system you have.
Depending on the support system you have.
Yeah.
You can play, you can relax if there are people to take care of your child. But if there are not, and you want a certain kind of lifestyle, then you are going to stretch yourself from pillar to post. There is no time to joke. It's a masculine, feminine energy. I don't know how to blend that. Mascu-fem.
She just made a word.
You know?
Yeah.
Mascu-fem energy that you need to carry. It's not a simple
Me,
thing
for
to
instance, with what she's saying, the irrational fear I'm not even having is that for our cases where everybody knows how you were brought up, what your dad did for you, and now you look at how everybody, me for instance, what I'm scared about the most is that people will say, with all the potential she had, all the academic success, she gave birth.
And she couldn't.
That is one fear. Then the second fear is looking at all the things that have been done for me before I grew up to understand family politics, where maybe you would want to withdraw. And I can't do that for my child. Me already, at times, I'm marking myself that if I can't do what my father and the siblings were doing for her, already it's like I'm failing.
Right.
Then this, and you know, there is this other case where everybody feels you have a support, but you don't have a support.
Yeah.
This is me.
Girl, you
Who
look
will
like you have it
Who
covered.
will be outside?
Yeah.
Miss, let me give you an example. It recently happened. I came to complain to my school. I was like, "Who did you trust?" This is me who is outside. I said I don't want to be a burden on anybody, trying to fend for myself, so nobody comes more into asking what is the father doing, what's the auntie doing stuff. Then I'm called. Abnedi Anyasa. This is me somewhere in Konongo. Their house is somewhere hilltop, so I should come. And it's not and the way even pains me is that's why I'm always moving about with my baby. And you are complaining the child is traveling too much. Now somebody comes and takes the child. You've made all the provisions, so at times me I even write down, I even have videos, so she has her own tablet and stuff. And you call me, you know that I said I'm going to do this. That's Abnedi Anyasa.
So what can you do while you're at Konongo, right?
The amount I waste on transportation moving here for you. So I went back to the first settings. It's just today that I couldn't bring her here. She would have been here because
I would have loved to meet her.
I know we won't finish it, so we'll definitely come and I'll be here. Abnedi Anyasa and Auntie Taylor, you have to, and I start crying because you have to appear. Abnedi Anyasa. So, and this is coming from your auntie who took care of you when you were a baby, and it's like, and this has happened to me severally. So me, I'm getting to the point where, and as she said, you see, there are the type of single mothers who don't even have support, but they
don't care.
Said, you want the normal Ghanaian traditional lifestyle where her glory is in the fact that she was able to take care of her child. This is me too, who wants helicopter money, and I have a standard to fit in and still not let this shame overcome me. So me, I'm getting to this point of rational fear that looking at how this girl is coming here, beating everything, if I'm not able to, then I think I have to look for money, a lot of money, go and put her in one of these Brussels boarding schools in Britain where, she will meet future leaders, because at times it's scary. But you look at the women already in the system who have Western stories like us, or some of even ours are Western than theirs. And look at how maybe she went to marry, got a supportive man, there the ambition and the career ended, or she got drained, or she died before her put. And these things are scary because it's happening, and I just don't want to mention recent cases. So me at times it scares me too much, because it's a society where a young woman can't mess up and solve all the problems and have it all. It's like you are predestined to feel somewhere for us to say if you hadn't had a baby. And I am one of such examples to my mom. That's why we can't relate on the same grounds. That's why I didn't stop trying, because I saw her. I thought my grandmother was my mother, and I've always been with my dad's family. So at times I'm scared. So my child come and have the same problems I'm having with this woman, because with my mom it's with all her kids, since she had to go outside early. So at times I'm scared that, okay, then at times I feel like, so you too, because of you, I'm sacrificing masters work, this, just to make sure, like I've showed my mother, I've rectified what you are making excuses for. And at times she feels like, what if she also goes and she's not grateful for this? Because me, my mom, at times she feels that whatever be the case, it's not because of you you've come out fine. So these irrational fears, looking at those who have been able to do it, and how society is still giving them problems. You who everybody feels, hey, wait there, because people feel even by now I should have been on grounds contesting for member of parliament. So I don't know why, but people have too much high standards for me. So at times I'm scared that those who have stories like this, you see that she married, it's ended, one man came to help her, stop this. So at times I'm really scared. And the case of where you also, me for my case, when I had to go back home again last year, when Abna had become like, 15 months. I came back and I feel like I've been with my child all by myself. I fend for her, for me being me, from being you people your child. And I come back now and you say you want to help, and it's like, now you want to help, and I just leave my baby to you. Please just follow how I want you to. I think that's one of the biggest problems. Just take care of her how I want you to. That one too. Right now, everybody has an opinion because they think you've come back, you need help. So there are times there are lots of us who look like we have support, so we can play and joke. But trust me, And this is hypothetical support. If you don't put your things in order, you'll be at Konongo. You'll be called, come and fry egg for your baby.
They are legitimate fears. They are not irrational fears, right?
Let me just come in quickly. One time I chanced on one of my daughter's TikTok videos, and she was with her mates, and then she had captioned it, when it comes to my friends, when it comes to the circle of my friends, my mommy know they make and they carry last. Do you understand? I try to give, I'm not the wealthy kind of mother, but everything that my child needs, I provide. Anything that she needs to make her feel good about herself.
She feels she wants to be in trend. You have that vibe.
I provide. And so among her friends, she doesn't feel like
she's left behind.
Because there's no father. I've tried my best by God's grace to make her feel like she is okay, whether she has a mom or not, or whether she has a father or not. So it requires a lot of things. And there's this pain that sometimes you go out and then, as she's saying, for me, when I go to certain places, they say, oh, when there's some more big men, we are more shemo. You don't have a problem.
Yeah.
And I go to certain places, and sometimes people even think I'm married. So there's a man taking care of me and my child. And it hurts because at the end of the day, say, oh, you know, you know you are working hard to do all of these things. People don't understand until you have been there. You can never understand the stress, the pain, the struggle, and the effort it takes.
You know what you are saying?
For you to get to this point with your child.
I fell in some pressure when my baby turned like 6 months, and I felt my funds and my trust fund was depleting here because I didn't like the situation where maybe we are going to the hospital and how she looks, and so you know when game was closing, they will tell you. I think somebody dashed me some huge amount of money. We ended up buying vintage collectible toys because I just didn't want the case where somebody gonna be like, hey, na. And at times it's scary. And you know, it's just because of this fear of I just don't want to see me and start doing too many analysis. Because you come and tell me when I was young, I had dolls who could walk, who could talk, who were my height. I had these people. So I was just because these analysis when I was not home and I had moved out for that 1 year, people were trying to read too much into it. And this is the kind of certain families you come from. You can't tell your truth when certain cases are because everybody has a political interest. The one coming to listen, the one coming to, trying to adjudicate has the interest. People trying to use you as gateways to certain profiles in your family. So if you are not smart, so it got me to the extent that then let me shut everybody out. But in the course of shutting everybody out, I used to shop here. At times I'll come and ask people like, hey, that girl is just like 1 year, like you is okay. I'll buy these things and me myself. I don't remember the last time I did my hair. But away. Right now sitting, I think I'm having a dermatological condition with my feet. This is me back in the university where I just go to Accra to go and get my pedicure done because I want paraffin wax. This is me where right now the colors of my feet is just getting hardened, falling off. I'm applying and I don't even care.
It's called motherhood.
I don't care.
It's called motherhood. Ladies, I do not think my boss is looking at me. We didn't even get to a third of the questions. You know, I know, Philippa, you live in Accra, right? Yeah. So we might not be able to get you back the next time. But definitely it's a topic we have to go back on again. Again, I want to appreciate your openness and your honesty, talking about your real struggles and experiences as single mothers. From where I sit, I think you are very brave ladies, and you are amazing to have come through all that, come out on the other end to share, and even sometimes to encourage other people, to lift other people up. It takes a lot. So one of the things that people don't like to hear is that somebody is also somewhere crying for a child. whether they will do it married or not. They just want a child.
That's a world for you.
I've heard someone say once that she wishes she even got pregnant and miscarried to know that I can even get pregnant.
So me,
right?
that come, I'm happy, and I told you I carry my
Exactly.
shame proudly. This is
That
me. There
sometimes
was no
I
hope.
meet people who actually say, I wish I had gotten pregnant the age that you got pregnant.
Yeah.
And I'll ask them, could you have been able to bear the stress and the pain and the struggles that I went through? And they would tell
Probably
me, well,
not.
it wouldn't have mattered. Look at you and
Probably
your
not.
child.
It's true, but because you know why? I gave birth in the hospital, and we had about 4 big women who the hospital arranged for them to come and say hi to me. Because I had their condition, and hospital was scared I'm towing their line. And I'm a miracle, and something was discovered
To
during
encourage them.
Yeah.
my delivery.
Okay.
And right now they are being told, oh, you say what you are. And all of them were coming to me, and like they were so happy.
Yeah. PCOS is something we really need to dedicate a whole show to, because I think a lot of us don't understand it as much. Let me just catch up on these comments and then we round up. Nanaraba, again, Nanaraba, we do the show with you and we love all your contributions. She says that you say cry. Sometimes it's wailing. I think that's to you when you said you cried sometimes. It's not easy with these young adults. So I have an almost 22-year-old and almost 20-year-old. The best way for me was and is prayer and godly counsel.
Yeah.
Hey, these young people, boy. Again, she says, yes, if it's especially girls, we have to make that moolah. Females are naturally high maintenance. Big ups to boy moms. Yeah, that's what she said. Again, she says, good for you, Philippa. I like your lifestyle. It's the same for both of you. I think you're amazing ladies. Keep being amazing at what you do. It's not easy anywhere.
It's not.
Yeah, it's not easy anywhere. And goodness knows what other challenges you would have had if you were married. So regardless, once there's life, you do the best you have with it.
I know definitely, and I will tell you, bring me back, because we didn't get to, I know. Don't worry.
We'll definitely bring you back. But thanks for sharing your story. I'm sure somebody listening is encouraged. We are going to be back in the studio. Next week, we have a very interesting topic that we have never done. But definitely, AUI is coming back. Philippa, whenever you're in Kumasi, hit me up and let's talk, okay? On that note, thanks for joining us on the Women Lately Show. My name, as always, Francisca Taylor. Good afternoon.